guys? It's the beginning of day 14 here. So we got some more shingles. So we're gonna jump up on the roof this morning while it's still not that hot out. And we're gonna finish doing the shingles up there in the ridge cap. And then roof will be done completely. And we're gonna jump back down and continue working on the soffits. So the area up here that gets metal put in it, and over here, so we have to put a J-trim on the wall all the way around, and then cut the soffits and put them in, and then the fascia kind of caps over top of that.
Chip, and there was 3 full rolls of roof paper.
That's what I thought.
Like, I had brought. This whole side's been.
What?
They already did this whole side on me. This whole side.
I think I got up to where you were before, like where you were still shingling. So I started off with the blackjack, putting tar on all the exposed nail heads. Also I did all around the edges to give a little bit extra stick around the edges. Here you can see I'm starting to cut the ridge capping. This stuff is called hip and ridge, and it comes perforated, so all you have to do is bend and break it. I'm using the blackjack to add a little bit of extra on the bottom of the ridge capping, so it just makes sure that when it gets hot out and it's baking in the sun, that these ridge caps are really going to hold down with the extra tar that I'm putting on them. So here's the time lapse of us finishing up the ridge capping. We finally finished the roof completely with asphalt today, and I'm so glad because I hate roofing. Here we're finishing up the J-trim that we started in the last video. So we're going around the rest of the building on the back side and on the side where those bushes are, just getting ready for soffit. Well, what do you got right there?
Well, this is. Do you want it exact, like not including the?
No, tell me what you want.
Yeah.
Take an 1/8 off each side, like hold your tape measure in and eyeball in. 7 5/8, a half, whatever you want.
Yeah, like 11 5/8 here. Does like a real nice hammer close to the edge, you know?
Yeah.
And then I'll just kind of reach out and place it earlier.
Like even if it's halfway on that 2x6, it's fine.
Yeah, go as long as I have 11 5/8 all day long.
So we're just starting to cut the soffits here. You can see here's the soffit, and we got it all stacked up and lined up with each other. So I'm just going to cut these and give them to Joel, and he's going to be putting them up. 11 5/8. So this is your reminder to close your mouth when you're cutting. I started cutting that and a piece of hot metal flung right up into my mouth and I had to stop my cut. But anyway, we're just using the skill saw here to cut a bunch of soffit at the same time. You probably want to put a dull blade or a used blade on because it kind of chews up your blades here. If you want to cut any wood with it after, you're probably not going to like the way it cuts. But you throw an old blade on there, make your cuts, and you get a whole bunch of soffit at one time.
Works really good.
Here you can see Joel starting to install the fascia. So one end goes into the J-trim that we installed in the previous videos, and the other side is fastened with a crown stapler to the bottom of the wood fascia. So now that we got a good system going, Joel's installing those fascias on the outside of the building, and I'm inside the building cutting them, trying to stay ahead of how many he needs. They install pretty quickly, so I'm just mostly cutting and he's installing. How many do you think for an estimate?
Huh?
How many do you think for an estimate? 3? There you see Joel installing the final piece of soffit on the building. In the next video we're going to be wrapping the front of the wood fascia with metal fascia, and it kind of comes down and over the front part of the soffits that are still exposed right now. That's the end of day 14. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.